What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for watching. So it's been about a month or so since I've done a Handtrap or board breaker tier list. Usually I wouldn't do it this quickly. However, with that ban list we just had about 2 weeks ago, I wanted to touch on the decks that, or the board breakers and hand traps that either need to be main decked, it would be a strong side option, sneaky choices, deck dependent, or just bad. Generally, like I said, I don't do it this quickly. However, with the new format, the way decks have changed and the way that they are going to change for the format, Voiceless getting support, Ubel getting support, Tempai coming out within a week, I wanted to talk about some of the best hand traps or board breakers and which way you needed to go. So I just came back from YCS Raleigh. It was less than a week ago. I played board breakers personally. If you've watched my sprite list, you can see that. If not, please go watch that. It was a very nice list. I did go 5-4, and we can get into some of those reasons if you want. So I decided to start with the Ghost Girls. This is probably the best place to start. So Ash has to be mained at this point. With the way that Fire is playing, their combo, if you have no interruptions and are trying to rely on board breakers only, they're going to hand rip you twice. So that's very important. I just think Ash is the best hand trap, just overall. It's very versatile. A one Ash in Rogue can pretty much kill a Rogue. It's one of the best. Next, we've got Bell here. I didn't go in any particular order. I just put all the Ghost Girls in one. I think Bell is a strong side option. I don't think I would be maining Bell right now. Some of the decks that are playing don't care about the graveyard. Voiceless does a little bit, and Fire King definitely does. However, if you start talking like, Runic, they do. So maybe this moves up to main deck worthy. It's real close for me. It's real close for me, just being honest. You could probably put it in either. I think I would side Bell. Ghost Sister, I think, is a sneaky choice. So we're deck dependent. So this card right here is a time card. Personally, I think it's deck dependent. But I do think it could be a sneaky choice just to be good. I don't think it's bad at all. I think this is very deck dependent. If you watched any of the deck profiles from YCS Raleigh, you saw that the top 16 stun player was playing top 16 or top 32. I think it was 16. Was playing Sister. It's just a great time card. I think I would probably play Soul Absorption instead, but it is what it is. He finished top 16. I did not. So Ghost Stoker, I still think it's a sneaky choice. I don't think it's deck dependent. I know it's not bad. I think it's a really strong side option, but I also think I could see a lot of people maining this card. The only issue with Ogre is it does have to go to Graveyard. I'm like 99% sure. I think Ogre is just a sneaky choice. You're going to hit those field spells. You're going to hit the Xyz monsters. You're going to hit the Link monsters. They don't have to stay on field to resolve. However, the Xyz do and things like that. So I do think Ogre is a sneaky choice. I'm in love with Ghost Mourner right now. Everybody says, well, you can't hit the normal summon like you can with Valor. That's fine. I mean, other than if they start normal summon Ash in Fire, this card is nuts. So let's say you're playing against Sprite and you have this in hand, draw phase, they're going to activate starter, they're going to special blue, you're going to Mourner them right there. Yeah, you may not get the life point game, but that's okay. Or you can hit the Mourner on the Gigantic, and that negates them. Plus, when they link it off for the Sprint, you're gaining. I think Mourner's main deck worthy. Reaper to me is deck dependent. If I'm playing Fire and I know I'm going to be at top tables and I know I'm going to be playing Fire all day, I could see me playing Reaper. At the YCS, somebody wanted to buy 10 copies of the ultis at like $12 a piece, and the vendors told them no. I thought that was real weird, but it didn't get bought out, nothing like that. It was just they pulled it. I think this card is very deck dependent. I think Droll is a strong side option. We don't have to worry about Vanadium really, because a lot of the synchro plays are gone. A lot of the synchro decks are gone. Tempai is coming. That's okay. I don't really feel like that does a whole lot against Tempai. It does do a little bit against Voiceless. It does do a little bit against Fire King, but they can really play around Droll for the most part. I mean, I think it's a strong side option, like on the cusp of main deck, but I would probably play Bell before I play Droll in the main. That's how I'm doing this. It's like best, next best. Where would I play this instead? Valor. I have always said if you're not maining Valor, you shouldn't be playing it. I think Valor is probably going to be towards the bottom of this main deck worthy, and I put it there every time. I'm always iffy on Valor. It has to go to Graveyard, so in the Kashtira matchup, you can't be under Shifter. The monsters have to hit the grave, and it's an easy side out if you're playing against that. So, I think it's main deck or nothing for Valor. Crow, I think it's a very sneaky choice, and I think it's actually better than Ogre as a sneaky choice. When you start talking about fire, I mean, you hit any one of their cards with Crow, they're hurting. Voiceless, you hit the ritual spell with Crow, they're hurting. Bell doesn't stop cost, so let's say something shuffles back for cost. Well, before they have an opportunity to activate, as long as it's not a quick effect, you can Crow it. Like, that's huge to me. I think it is, when I'm saying sneaky choice, what I'm meaning here is like this could be mained and not feel bad about it, and could probably win you some games. I do think Crow is better than Valor, but Nib, I put above Valor here. So Nibiru on Fire is tough to recover from. If you watch the stream, especially top 4, when you watch DB Grinder, use a Nib, get Nibbed. Like, Nib is tough. And you see a lot of people, as soon as they threaten an Appaloosa, usually they're already at 5 summons, and they get dropped with the rock. It's tough to come back from. You have to have another extender. And if, like, Nib with any other combination is real hard. Let's say they've got the Temple up. If you have Nib and Ogre, they just lose. Like, Temple's generally their recursion from Nib. If you have both, they're done. Shifter is definitely deck dependent, but it is like the best deck dependent you can get. Obviously, if you're putting it in main deck worthy, which it is, I think Shifter is like right there. I think Shifter is better than Nib. I think Shifter is one of the biggest blowout cards, but not every deck can play it. So it's going to fall under this deck dependent, but I'm telling you it is main deck worthy. Obviously, if you can play Shifter like Flu, like Cash. I played Sprite with Shifter at the Columbus Regional about 2 months ago. And at the time, I was splitting board breakers and hand traps. Then I moved to straight board breakers, but the ban list sort of changed what I should have played. But I didn't adapt my list because that's what I had practiced. That's what I was pretty set on for the week prior. Let's talk about Thanos. So we are back into a very link-heavy format, especially with Fire King or Snake Eye Pure. Tempai isn't really going to be link-dependent. Voiceless and Ubel aren't really link-dependent. If you're playing Runic Stun, you're obviously not link-dependent. However, I do think this is a strong side option. I will put it below Droll. Most of the time when you can get the Thanos in hand, you're playing 2 or 3 of them, obviously. When they link summon, let's say they're going to Princess, you're drawing 4, and now they can't target. That's big. That's huge, actually. But a lot of decks can't play this, like Kashtira. It's real rough to play Thanos because of your field needing to be cleared. It's a little rough. Next, I've got Lancia. We're going to go ahead and put Lancia right there. I think Lancia is a super sneaky choice. I'm actually going to put it above Crow, and I've got my reasons. So with Runic being a top 3 deck, and yes, to me it is a top 3 deck, you've got Pure Snake Eye or any Snake Eye variant. We talked about that in the video about how Konami missed it on the ban list. So Snake Eye, you've got which banishes Wanted. You've got Voiceless, which doesn't really, but then you've got Runic, who really does, and I'm telling you, a lot of Snake Eye players are going to start siding Lancia. You just got to be ready for it. Kashtira gets hurt bad by that. A lot of Rogue is playing some Banish. Like, I don't see a whole lot of Dinos. I did see 3 or 4 at YCS, believe it or not, at the mid tables, and nobody's playing Lancia. They're going to start eating a little bit. Especially, let's talk about against Fire King too. This card against Fire King stops the hand rip with Omega and Dissipator. It stops the double hand rip. I mean, this could realistically not be main deck, but could definitely be the strongest side option we have. But I'm going to put it at the top of the sneaky choice. This is just all Psyframe cards. I don't think they're great. So I'm not going to say they're bad. I don't think they're a sneaky choice. I don't think they're a strong side. I know they're not main deck worthy. I think these are very, very, very deck dependent. If you can play them, that's great. You've only got one Gamma. You've only got one Driver. A lot of people were playing this one. It's okay at best. I'm going to put it there. I don't mean the card is bad. I'm just saying it's not even really deck dependent. There are so many other better options to play versus Psyframe cards right now. Now we've got some other thing. Well, let me finish this one. We've got Druisworm, which is Bestials. Bestials are a very strong side option. I think they're better than Thanos. I think they're better than Droll. I think they're under Bell. So the same issue with Bell here. I think Bestials, I think they're very good. I would probably still put Crow above both here in strong side options. Just because Crow can hit anything, Bell can't, and that's obviously only monsters light and dark. So the Bestials are sort of dependent. I don't think it's as good as Bell because of that. Okay, so now we have Kaijus, which are obviously Kaijus or things that tribute. Let's Santa Claus would be in this, and you're going to see a lot of these cards played with Tenpai. I know in my Tenpai list specifically, I'm playing a couple Santa Claus. I did pick up my secrets, by the way, and they are gorgeous. But like, I could see. I think this is deck dependent, but I think it's better than the Sisters. I think it's better than those two. Kaijus are going to be very good. It's good to get those cards off the field, but if the card says obviously sent or leaves the field, this is not good. I think this is a very deck dependent option, as well as this, and I think I would play Golden. I think I would play Dogwood before Golden Ball. You're going to gain a lot of life with her. This takes your normal summon. A lot of decks don't really care about the normal summon. Runic doesn't really care, so it's deck dependent to me. But when you start talking about that, it gets a little weird. Lava Golem, I have a strong side option, and I don't think it's quite as good as Droll. The reason is Droll can just turn skip if you hit him in the right spot or if they open the wrong hand, where Lava Golem is just going to tribute 2. However, Lava Golem is not once per turn, so if you open multiple, you can do that. And it doesn't take your normal summon, but you can't normal summon after you use it. I think Lava Golem with another hand trap is huge. I think Lava Golem with the ability to special summon something is big. I think it's better than Thanos, but to me, like, Lancia may go in my side depending on what I play. Like, Crow may go in my side depending on what I play. Ogre would be like right here to me. So like some of these sneaky choices, they're not bad at all. Like, these could almost be main deck like Crow and Ogre. Okay, so now we go on to the board breakers. We went through all the hand traps, or I've even started on the monster board breakers, but now we're going to the spells and traps. Econ, I think, is very deck dependent. I think it is better than a Kaiju. I don't think it's as good as Shifter. I think it's better than a Kaiju. I played Econ on my Sprite list. If you watched that list, obviously you saw it. I think Econ is one of the best cards in that deck. The ability to dodge an Imperm is huge. Again, draw phase starter, blue effect off the starter, Imperm, If you're going second and you do that, most Fire King or Snake Eye Pure decks are ending like IPSP. You're telling me I get a free link too, plus my ad? The card's amazing. Dark Hole I think is bad. I don't think Dark Hole's good. Dark Hole destroys. I don't think it's very good. There are some other options even down here I would play before it. I just don't think Dark Hole is good. Droplet is main deck worthy. I think it is better than Valor. I think it is better than Nib. I think this card right here with an Ash, or this card with a Druisworm or a Bestial is huge. I main deck Droplet in mine. Again, I'm playing Sprite. Not every deck can do what I do. So in draw phase, if I Droplet, so let's say I open, now this is a weird 3-card combo, but it happened at the YCS. Open Starter, Droplet, Angler. That's like a +4. So I Starter, and then no response, chain the Droplet, sending the Starter and the Angler. So I end up with blue, 2 bodies on board, and the blue ad. That's big. That's big. Now, it does change my play later on. Instead of going into like a Sprint, I go into an SP or something else, but Droplet is huge. It also doesn't target, so this is great against like the voiceless matchup. You just negate and half. Huge. Dark Ruler is a strong side option. Oh, it's acting a little weird here. It's really good against voiceless. It's not good against fire. It's not bad. I'm just putting it here. I think I would put it below Ogre in sneaky choice. So this card hasn't seen a whole lot of play recently because of fire, but against voiceless, this card just shuts down the Skull Guardian. And when you shut down the Skull Guardian, if you didn't open any other hand traps, you can play, you can win, and it gets just much easier. I think if it's in sneaky choice, it's below Ogre, which again, I have Ogre like right here in strong side above the Droll. If it's in strong side, I think I have it under the Droll. I'd put it right there. I don't think it's as good as Droll. Droll can just stop somebody's turn. This can still be responded to with like a Judgment. Gotta be careful with that. So I think it's a sneaky choice. Cosmic is still a strong side option. I have it under the Droll. So it would be like this to me. I have Cosmic under the Droll. I think Cosmic against Fire King Snake Eye is huge. I think Cosmic against Runic is big. I think Cosmic against Kashtira is big. Cosmic is just a great strong side option card. I would probably play it over Droll. I would probably play it over Bestials. So I would put it right there. I think I would play Bell above Cosmic and main, though. That's how I'm sort of looking at this, is like, what's my number one main option, which is Ash? Where would I put this in relevance to Ash? If it's below, where would I put it in relevance to Mourner? Duster, I played. I think it is a strong side option as a one-of if you're playing Thrust. If you're playing Thrust. I would not play this card if I'm not playing Thrust, just because it's a one-of. Like, you gotta rip it. If I do play it with Thrust, I put it like right there. As a solo option, which a lot of people still play it as a solo, I put it below Thanos. I think Thanos is better. Thanos fixes hands. Thanos, you can discard and negate a target. Lightning Storm. I think it's better than Duster because of diversity. I do not like double restrictions. However, there was one time this weekend I opened Droplet and this against my Pure Snake Eye matchup, and they opened the deck lockdown. This is on here by accident, by the way. This is going to go into a different video that I'm going to do, which is Floodgates, top Floodgates. And yeah, a lot of them are banned, I know, but we still have a lot of options. So this card is still very good. You're going to choose back row, especially against the Fire King matchup. I think I would play it about right there. I think I'd play it about right there. I'd probably play Droll before I played it, because Droll only has the restriction of a graveyard. I can activate more than one if I have to. Droll called by Droll, I still get my Droll. I'd play it above Golem. Super Poly, I think, is a very strong option. I think Super Poly is probably above Bishals if you have the room in your side, and if you have the room in your extra deck. If you have the room in both, Super Poly is an amazing option. Mind Control, Change of Heart, Snatch Steal, I've got all of these in the same. I think this is a very strong side option. I probably wouldn't main it. Probably. Tactics, definitely main deck worthy, and I have it above the Effect Veiler. Tactics being main deck worthy is huge. I have 3 options. If I'm going first, I'm going to draw or rip. Probably rip, depending if my hand has combo. If it doesn't have combo, I'm going to draw. Yeah, it's main deck worthy. I'm playing 3. Evenly's back in the format. Without Baron, without Savage, we have no real negates, and if you can hand trap your opponent and make them end on 4 to 5 cards with no negates, Evenly is insane. I think Evenly is probably the best side option we have right now, and a lot of people are going to be maining this. I am considering maining it in any deck that I play, even at 2. Evenly is just a straight up good card. It's just busted with no negate. Let's say somebody ends Lars. I can bait a single negate. Talking 3 to 4 negates, maybe not, and still have combo. That's very unlikely. However, with like I said, with Baron gone and with Borreload Savage gone, Evenly is just so good. Imperm, second best hand trap of the format. It's below Ash, but it's above Warner because Imperm says no. If I have no cards, I can activate it from hand on either player's turn. And it plays around tactics. It plays around thrust, plays around triple attack. It's huge. I'm going to go ahead and put this. This is like right here to me. Again, I'm going to do a video on Floodgates. However, this card is just big. Anyway, this is my hand trap and board breaker tier list for the April 2024 format, probably leading all the way up into Nats, which is in August, I'm pretty sure, and in Austin, Texas. Hook 'em. But this is where I'm at. I think there's a lot of deck-dependent cards. I think there's only 1 or 2 bad options. I think there's 6 or 7 main deck-worthy options. With that being said, make sure to let me know below what you think I missed on, what you think I'm right on, or where you would place some stuff. Let me know if there's a card that I missed that you think is better than some of these in the main. With that being said, you all have a wonderful week. It's Thursday, so we got one more day to go. So try to have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.